What up, though? It's your main man, DJ Killer Kev, and you're now tapped into the Electric Elevation Podcast. Chill!
All right, so welcome to Electric Elevation Podcast. Today I have my special guest, Lyrique, in the building.
What's going on?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good.
So I know you wear many hats, so we're going to start off slow. So tell me first about Lyrique, the meaning behind it. How you come up? Is that your real name or the stage name?
So it is a stage name. The craziest thing is when I first started out, I was going by Lyric, and my partner at the time, Detail. We was rocking out, doing all this was like before we hit landed the Ray J deal, and so there was a singer and a female singer called herself Lyric. It was another rapper that was calling himself Lyric, and I remember sitting there with Detail like, man, I can't just be having the same name. And he was like, well, put a Q at the end of your name and go by Lyrique, and I said, well, that's my name now. And it's been that way for like 15 plus years.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how that happened. But yeah, Sean Matthews is the government. So oftentimes on my credits, you'll see Sean Lyrique Matthews. That's why.
Okay. What area are you from? What side of town?
West side of Detroit. Grew up around the 8 Mile Schaefer area. So yeah,
Okay.
those are my stumping grounds.
Okay, so let's take it all the way back. How long have you been into music? Was it like middle school, high school, or after?
Man, well, I've been singing since I was like 2 years old, for real.
Okay.
And of course, that come from being born in the church.
Church family.
Yeah, dad a minister, so I'm a PK.
Okay.
Mom was always, church treasure and in the choir, but everybody in my family sung. So for as long as I can remember, even starting back then, I played over 6 instruments. So I was the church's first drummer. Played keys. Sang in the choir, sang in the praise team, all the different stuff. So
You were self-taught all
yeah,
instruments?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite instrument you like playing the most?
It would be piano now. In pretty much anything doing with the piano. It's to the point I can't even walk past the piano and not play it. I remember I was either in Charlotte or I was going to Charlotte, one of the hub airports down there, and them assholes had the nerve to have a beautiful piano right in the middle there. And I was rushing to my plane. I got right to it and I dropped my bag and I sat there and played for about 35 seconds and grabbed it and go. I can't walk past the piano and not play it. So I would have to say that's my favorite.
Okay. So did you at first do gospel music before secular?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was in a gospel group. The group at the time was called DGW, and we recorded a lot of stuff. Then it wasn't like now to where, you got distribution and could just, whip it up and put it out. So it was the whole thing about, getting projects together. We was performing in different places, trying to get a deal and everything going. But then I found out the gospel don't like to pay folks. So I quit that shit.
You just gonna put it out there like that, for real?
Listen, I've been out of gospel music proper for a long time, so they might, shout outs to those that I know that's killing it, Kiki and them, Karen, Clark sisters, it's a bunch of them that's out there killing it. Mm-hmm. But it used to be, and it probably still is. If you ain't one of the main ones, if you ain't one of the Clarks, if you ain't Kirk, if you ain't Donnie, if you ain't, then
you ain't had no motion.
Then everything else was like, oh, well, just come sing it for Jesus. Jesus paid it all. Like, wait a minute. No, I don't. Because when I was in the church like that, it was like, if I'm gonna go and sing to God for free, I could do that every Sunday. Like, I can't make a career out of, oh, just come over here and let the Lord use you. Is the Lord using me, or is you using me? Because you doing offering plates and stuff. You ain't even giving me a couple pieces of chicken. So yeah, after a while I was like, nah, I'm good. And then I went secular for sure.
How did your family feel when you went secular?
Oh, it was tough. Of course, that it wasn't accepted. It wasn't that I think that would be the first part where you got the love of your parents, but at the end of the day, just because of the religious beliefs, the support can only go so far. Like, the love is there, and I want you to do good, but I wanted you to do it this way. So since you decided to do it that way, then, knock yourself out. And so it was kind of like that type thing.
Okay.
It was tough, yeah.
But in the present time, do they support it now?
Oh yeah, and they have for a very long time. And it's funny how things come full circle. I'm still not a gospel artist, but I'm producing 2 or 3 different gospel artists. And matter of fact, Jason Rutley, I don't know if you ever heard of the Rutley brothers, super dynamic singers. His first single that he just put out was produced by me and co-written by me, and I'm actually featured on it. So it's called "Bless My Soul," the acoustic version. Jason Rutley featuring I Am Lyrique. So, came full circle.
Put your sauce on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely sauced it up for sure.
Okay. So you write as well.
Oh yeah, I started off a writer.
Okay. So when you were first writing, were you writing like poetry at first before you knew you could like really write songs? Did it start off as just
So the way I like to tell the story, as far as a writer, like I was a published writer in elementary school, but it was like short stories.
okay?
So it was creative writing first, and then I got a hold to a couple Stephen King novels. So as my first ever writings, like novel wise, it was horror. So I was inspired by him, and then like around high school,
Like Alfred Hitchcock too.
yeah, all of that stuff, yeah. And around high school, that was when the singing side of me that's been happening since age 2, and then the writing side of me, it merged and created me as the songwriter. And that's one of the reasons why I never get no type of writer's block with it. It's literally, for me, impossible, because I understand writing on such a level that it's vast. It's literally infinite. And
It's second nature to
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's first nature to me.
Right.
For real.
Effortless. It just comes to you. I get it. So,
It allows me to be. I didn't mean to cut you off. It allows me to be humble. Anyway, because I know it's a God-given gift. Like I was on this planet way too early and way too good at this writing thing that everyone so hard seeks to be good at, and it was just So it literally had to been a gift
Your
from
purpose,
God.
right.
Yeah, for sure.
Name of some of the people you've written for.
Oh man. Well, from just a few. Ray J, Brandy. I done wrote songs for Maya that didn't come out. Because of course in the music industry you got the stuff that actually surfaces and comes out. Then you got the stuff that didn't. The stuff that didn't. I'm talking about. That's where you're talking from everything from Tierra Marie to golly. It's I done been around so many dynamic people. Some rappers.
What would you say was your most successful song you've written?
Well, for me, the most successful song that I've written hasn't been written yet. I have to attribute my early success to I wrote the song Melody for Ray J that he named his daughter after. So that was the first one that I did that made the national stage and hit national ears and all of that. And so that was the one that opened the portal for me. So now, I'm recognized, that can never be taken away from me. Credit solidified, all that different stuff. But when you're creating just music, that's technically writing too. That's why I said it depends, perspective wise, because the most the most recent one, I went gold with T Grizzly. His song Satish, when he's rapping about his auntie getting killed. I played me and Helva did that together. I played all the pianos and strings and stuff on that one.
Okay.
So that's a real big record. So technically I went gold with him and went gold with T Grizzly. T Grizzly and Ray. And then there's a lot of stuff that I done ghosted on that I can't, necessarily talk about. But yeah, it's industry's crazy.
And let's talk about Tierra Marie a little bit. I know that's how you got your beginnings.
Yep.
So.
Shout out to T. Yep.
So how did that even start off?
So the interesting thing about that was, at the time, I never owned any studio equipment or anything like that. I literally was just a songwriter who knew how to sing. Okay. So I didn't know how to operate no equipment. I didn't know how to do nothing. And shout out to Big Mike, who had Kiss Productions. He had Tierra Marie signed to him as an artist and Helva signed to him as a producer.
Okay.
So, I mean, everybody know Helva, the legend. He been killing hip hop for forever. And but when I got around that time, he was still rapping. This was before he hung the mic up and just went strictly producing. and so he was doing all hip hop stuff, and as dope a producer as he was, like when it came down to R&B, like that just wasn't his thing. So you had him dominating hip hop, and then Mike didn't have anybody to develop Tierra. So we wound up working out a bartering system. This is when the studio was over on Trumbull.
Okay.
You know, the wooden steps going up right over by the Tiger Stadium, the old Tiger Stadium. And he was like, look, you know, we ain't got no money to pay you to come and develop her. But at the same time, if you do, then, you know, you got full access to the studio. And I had an artist that I was working with at the time, and it was just like bet. So the bartering system, it was a beautiful thing. I eventually even wound up getting keys to it. So whenever T needed like a session or something like that, boom, you know, I come up there, I develop her, get it together, and yeah, it was a good experience, because that was when it really showed me, especially coming out of gospel and all that, it showed me that I belonged in the music scene, because I was able to take someone, you know, of course she always had the face and the voice, but it needed to be molded, you know, so I taught her how to be a recording artist, taught her how to do ad-libs and all that. Like, I really worked real intricately with her from about 15 to 17 till she got signed.
Okay. So when she got signed, did you guys part ways?
It was one of those things that the deal between Def Jam and Kiss Productions, and you know, it being migrated over to Rockefeller, it was some red tape in that, and let's just say that me and Helluva were guaranteed 3 songs on the album that did not come into fruition due to some things that really had nothing to do with me and Helluva. And so we were kind of collateral damage, and you know, they got him. I think he got his bread, and you know, we were blowing in the wind, and that's what kind of happens sometimes.
So how'd that make you feel? Like all your, you know, your hard work, the time you put in.
It pissed me the fuck off, because at the end of the day, you know, and that's not even the only time that that's happened in my career. But the thing is when that happens, you know, like, I mean, if I was to CT, we'd be cordial or whatever, because I'm not the type that'd be like, oh no, you know, fuck you, bitch, you could have did this, blah blah blah. I mean, you know, it's a lot of stuff that she could have did when she was in position to do that she didn't do.
Okay.
However, you know, she was of whatever age she was. She had the momager to answer to. She had, you know, Rockefeller. So what I do know, at least, is if you go back and you look at them credits, and when they were still doing the inserts and the albums with all the pictures, and you unfolded in the comment section. And this is also something that can never be taken away. The very first 2 people that she thanked was Big Mike and Lyrique, before everybody, the whole rest of the paragraph. So I'm sure I'll give her the benefit of the doubt that I'm pretty sure that she insisted that I be thanked, because at least she can control that. You know, once you get to sign to Rockefeller, the A&R, blah blah blah. You know, I'm sure she didn't have much control over that. But you know, it's that feeling that I know if you were a songwriter and you somehow was instrumental in getting me signed to QC, and I get on and I'm doing my thing, and then you waiting for the phone call to be like, hey, come write a couple songs so you can be on this album or the next album and all that, and you don't get that phone call.
Right.
I just feel like you got every reason in the world to be like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And to be hitting me up like, yo, I helped put that together. Like, am I going to at least get a couple songs, or, you know what I'm saying, some, you know, kick back something? And let's just say that something never occurred. Okay. So, you know, I mean, but, you know, I'm steady rising, and we know where that's at.
So one of the learning experiences from that, do you think, like, when the paperwork or the deal has been negotiated, like, that could have been in there?
Well, you know, it could have, and it probably should have. The thing, well, see, no, but that's the whole thing. Mike did what he was supposed to do. Okay. Mike guaranteed, the paperwork guaranteed that we were supposed to get 3 songs on the album.
They just didn't do it.
I don't know how it somehow didn't get honored, whether it wound up being, well, fuck you, sue me. You're not getting shit, fuck you, sue me. That's what it seemed like to me. And I'm pretty sure he sued him. I'm pretty sure he got his bread because she was signed to him. But, you know, we were the odd man out.
Right.
Because, you know, but I remember, I never forget one time, because Mike is always, you know, he always would have me around Mark and Jeff Bass, you know, the ones that Eminem were signed to or whatever, and, you know, the Jewish lawyers, because Mike is Jewish. And I remember being over one of those lawyers' house, and I'll never forget. And I'm a young writer at the time, and he asked me a couple questions, and I answered them so bright-eyed and bushy-eyed, bushy-tailed, or however they say that shit. I come from the church, so I really, anybody that know me and have been around me long enough, they know how big my heart is, and they know how pure my intention is. So I was so green and wet behind the ears, I just thought everybody was nice and everybody was gonna do me right. And he asked me a series of questions, and based on how I answered them, he looked at me in the face and he said, Lyric, this industry is gonna chew your ass up. Mm-hmm. He told me, on God, this probably the first interview that I've ever said this on. He told me that I was gonna get my ass chewed up, and lo and behold, me just trusting everybody, me looking at it, because see, if I'm in position and I'm able to do something because of the type of heart that I have and because of what I come from, I know that the right thing to do is to make sure that if you put me in a certain place, then boom, boom, that's just the right thing to do. However, this industry don't give a fuck about none of that shit. They don't listen. The rules to this industry shit has nothing to do with morale. It has nothing to do with
loyalty.
It's literally it's against its DNA. You know what I'm saying? So if you thought that, just because this person was your best friend and y'all got the deal, and you don't got no paperwork together, but you're gonna be all right, bullshit.
That's one of the
bullshit.
The hardest thing in life is to realize that other people are not like you when you have a big heart. Or like, my thing is, your word is bond. If your word ain't shit, you ain't shit. But there's so many people who are not like that, and it's just so hard to deal with that, because you'll look at shit like, how?
And what's crazy is I've learned so much about this industry, and earlier on, which I'm sure is this way now. See, these people, they will have you and your person that you got on with come to the table, and y'all sit down and, say that we're going to do this and we're a team and you got to sign us both and we inseparable and blah, 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 woo, 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 woo. And then you'll go lay down. And then they'll take that motherfucker to the Grammy party, then take him to go holler at some bitches and take him over to Playboy Mansion and ride him around in the Wraith and be like, listen, at the end of the day, you who I really want to deal with. I want to do, what I'm saying? I ain't really got the budget, or I don't want to sign two motherfuckers. So if you willing to come on, then come on with the come on. And this person who was your boy, your girl, in the trenches with you, all this other shit, they got to make that business decision. And then if they have even the slightest ounce of selfishness or self-preserved, I'll step on anybody to get where the fuck I need. If they have an ounce of that, your ass out of there. And that's happened to me multiple different times. But it's because they present that option. With that being said, understand that you think that you're winning by cutting that person out. But you got to understand this from a business standpoint. If I'm the record label and I'm the executive and I see the two of y'all or the five of y'all and I'm like, I really only want to fuck with him, cut all of them out. That one person that's willing to cut those other four out, they know for a fact that they're not going to be able to trust you at all, because you cut out the person that you came to the table with. So what happens is you wind up getting a bold ass deal and you wind up getting fucked. Why? Because they know if you get the opportunity, you're going to fuck them. So they're going to extra double, triple fuck you just in case, if you fuck them back once, you're still double fucked and they still win.
Right. And
so it blows up in your face either way it go.
Right. And then to me, if you don't do right by people, you might have some success in the beginning, but for the long run, that shit don't work.
No,
when you snake people and do bad.
And what you find out, which I know people who have had to learn this lesson the hard way, is that when you start ascending, if you start acting funny and switching up on the people that was there with you and for you when you didn't have shit, then what happens is you're disconnected from reality now. So then you'll get around these people, these artists, and think that they're your friends because they love what you do, or they care about you because of, no, you're a cash cow. Anything that you bring to the table, whether you're a singer, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a twerker, whether you're a queefer, whatever the fuck you are that they feel like they can monetize off of, that is the sum total of what your worth is to them. And when that worth either dwindles or ends.
gone.
The next person that come up, then the next man up. And so you get out amongst these people who think they care about you, or who you think care about you, and you cut off the ones who would have died for you,
right?
Who would have been in the trenches, who wouldn't have let certain shit happen had they been around that you ostracized, and then you get caught up and you get in the blender and then you're fucked, and then you can't necessarily go back to the people that you done fucked up.
Right, because that's one rule I have. Like, if I've been with somebody from the bottom, been with you through all your struggles, everything you go through, then you know what I'm saying, you want to start acting funny and switch up, you can't come back. You can't come back. Yeah. When I get successful and I'm doing what I'm doing and you was the way you were, you can't come back.
At the end of the day, you know, sometimes you have to thank people for showing you certain behaviors at a certain point in juncture. Because if they showed you, you know, at least God spared you enough for you to see that shit before the millions come. Because you can do the research and look at how many of the millionaires where their manager been stealing millions of dollars, been siphoning, you know, 300,000 here, 400,000 there, blah 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 blah. It's better for you to know that it's a whole ass anaconda boa constrictor laying in your lowly cut grass than to have your grass high and then got a whole tribe of snakes in there and you don't know, and you taking them in there with you so they can snake you out your shit.
For sure.
You know.
You know what else is interesting? You know, I've been to many studio sessions and listening parties. How much people be talking, like, about other people in the industry. They don't care who in the room. They don't know who knows who, and they just be talking and talking and talking.
Yeah.
And so that, you know, that's that weird shit right there too. You don't know who, you know, who's in the room. It's certain people will make it where you can't even move around this bitch.
Listen. When I tell you, I keep my relationships in this industry clean. I wouldn't give a damn if the person that I walked in the hallway with, you know, I mean, if it's on some business shit, and that's different if we on a personal level. But if it's strictly business, you know, I made it be and walk down the hallway with an executive, and up to the point of that door, they like, man, electric elevation, fuck her, she is a snake, she this, blah blah blah, I don't fuck with her, blah 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 blah. And then when I come in this room, if I'm going to mention anything at all, which is a large portion of a reason why it's best to keep your motherfucking mouth shut. Because number one, if you do tell it to said person, then their radar could be up and be like, are you telling me this for some type of, you know, motivation of your own? Are you trying to fuck? So either way it go, the shit can blow up in your face. Right. So you learn in this industry to shut the entire fuck up. Like, man, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it can get dangerous too, because I done did sessions with a crew who was dissing a crew, and maybe like 7 days later, another crew come in, and I hear him saying some of the names of the motherfucker, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, I got rival sets in my That's exactly why I stay chopped up. God damn it. But
but the worst part is the people who are spitting venom and talking about people who they roll with. I really got a side eye for people who talk about people who they be with. You talking about this person like a dog. They this and that. Then you ride with them. Y'all hanging out. Like,
yeah, it's
that's a whole different kind of person.
It's a whole different type of person, and it's crazy because in this industry, relationships is worth way more than money.
Absolutely.
Don't ever get that fucked up. I don't give a fuck how much money you got. It's certain shit that you're not gonna be able to buy. Hell, it's certain tables that I sit at. It's certain rooms that I'm in. It's certain, you know, can get easily inside of the Will Smith camp over here, and can, you know what I'm saying, got the Oprah thing over here, and then got this over here because of relationships. So you can't cross talk and say shit about nobody for nothing, because you don't know who is connected to who,
right?
And shit'll get back, and it'll easily be one of, because I done had plenty of times that come across my desk, and they like, well, do you think I should work with this person, this, and I'm like, listen, this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, and that could happen to you. I'm not gonna tell you not to fuck with them, but they're writing on the wall. If you decide when you go in that door, whatever happened beyond that, you know, I gave you a little bit, but I'm not. Even people I don't fuck with, I'm not gonna be like, man, don't fuck with them because they did this shit to me, blah blah blah. They could have had their own reasons why they chose to be on some snake shit or be on some fuck shit with me. So if you ask me what my experience is, I would tell you a watered down version of it because everything ain't your motherfucking business anyway. If I say anything at all, but I'm not gonna discourage you from fucking with that because that person might do right by you, and they may have been intimidated by me or whatever. Like, don't fuck with him because of their own person. Bro, I don't care. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna be successful. I don't really get into the bullshit with all of that. So if you decide to go and not fuck with me because of what somebody in room 2 told you, then, you know, fuck you in room 2. And then when you'll find out later what their actual motivation is, just don't try to double back. Because, you know.
That's what I mean. Don't
try
to double back.
My last name is Matthews. It's not Christ.
Not try to double
it's
back.
not Christ. I'm not obligated to forgive shit.
My number one rule.
You know, so it is what it is.
Yep. So tell me, about what you're working on now. You got a current project out. We're gonna get into your movie stuff.
Okay.
Music. Do you have a current music project?
So yeah, I'm actually getting ready to drop a few singles. I mean, as you know, this really ain't the industry in the music industry today. Isn't really the album climate. You know, unless you're, you know, of the Drakes and the Uzi. You know, if you're in that particular echelon right there. You know, and even some of them are just dropping single after single because record sales are damn near almost non-existent, dwindling. The streaming game, if y'all ain't understand, the streaming game is so fucked up. Really, the songs that I'll just use me as an example because I'm a singer, songwriter, producer. When I put my shit out, number one, it definitely is gonna resonate with different groups of people for different reasons. But it's a billboard for me. Mm-hmm. It's a electronic musical. A business card, if you will, because when they hear how crazy I killed some shit, then it's like, damn, I need you to make me something like that, and they ching. So that's what it is for me. Mm-hmm. I could give less than a fuck about getting a deal. It's multiple ways to secure your platform, and due to some things that we'll be talking about throughout the interview, my platform is beyond secure. So I'll drop music when I fucking feel like it, or I'll not drop none and it'd be okay, but whenever I do drop something, it's gonna be like, damn, Reek still got that shit, you know. So
okay. So let's talk about your movie work, and you got a series coming out.
Yeah.
What's the name of the series that's coming out?
So I'm actually directing 2 different TV series at the same time, simultaneously. One I've been working on longer than the other, but I'll start with the most recent. June 13th, I was on the Fox 2 News as I was introduced as the director for Higher and Higher, the Jackie Wilson story. Okay. Shout out to Brenda Wilson, his daughter, and the author of the script. This one I didn't write. But what's amazing about it is, you know, Jackie Wilson being who he is now mind you, he's born in the 1930s and died in 1984, something like that. So a lot of the millennials and the young people wouldn't necessarily know who he is, like, by knowing his music. Like, they weren't alive when his shit was popping like that. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, a lot of the artists of today were influenced by artists previous generation before that and generation before that. Jackie Wilson was best friends with Elvis, for fuck's sake. Like,
he stole all his shit.
Watch the series, because actually he didn't.
He did?
No,
some of it.
You'll find out. I don't want to drop the spoiler alerts, but this is why the press release that I wrote to Fox 2, with the blessing of Brenda Wilson, a part of it was, you know, secrets revealed and rumors dispelled. Okay. Because you know, let's just put it this way: if we're best friends and we rock the same glasses and we have some of the same mannerisms, but we do our own thing, and people don't really know how tight we is, then it'll easily be able to say, "Oh, Elevation, she jocking like Reek style," not even knowing that we didn't went to the same store at the same time about the same shit. So yeah, but it's definitely you definitely don't want to watch it. It's a lot of good shit in there.
So it's a movie, though.
No,
right? It's
no,
a series.
no. It's a TV series. There's so many factoids that's going to be brought out in it that it was actually too big for a movie. Okay. So yeah, for the little jewels and shit to keep coming out, man, it was going to have to be a series. So that's one.
Actors from here.
Yep.
I know Jackie Wilson could really dance. Y'all got some good dancers.
Yeah, he could sing and he could dance. Yeah. You know, and what's crazy is you have also people who was a part of this story. I already named Elvis, but you got the Sammy Davis Jr.'s, the Sam Cooks, the Levi Stubbs, or the Four Tops. It's a lot of people that's intertwined into this story.
Okay.
You know, some really, really big names. So yeah, but all homegrown actors and actresses. And what I like about it is, and I'm definitely not knocking any productions that utilize certain actors, because I know some of them, you know, and the directors, and you know, shout out to the Darren Brown, shout out to DeJuan Ford, you know what I'm saying, Lee Master. I grew up with him at church. They call him Mr. Tubi. There's a lot of my people in there, but the ones that you are constantly seeing in these productions are the ones that you would probably likely not see in any of mine. It extends, and it's not like I asked them and they told me no, or they asked me and I told them no. It's not that. But Detroit has so much fucking talent in here, and there's so much untapped talent. It's one of the reasons why I haven't left and won't leave, because I could easily go to LA and rack it up, go to Atlanta and rack it up, and be a part of the gang, be a part of the It Ain't Shit in Detroit gang. Like I got a problem with those motherfuckers, right? Because I use an example, and I say this all the time. I'm gonna preach it till I'm blue in the face. Y'all got the cameras on us right now. You see me in Electric Elevation right here, and I'm about to show you something. I want you to visually see how fucking stupid it is when people are like, "Oh, I went to Atlanta and I went to this because it ain't shit in Detroit." Watch this shit. Hey man, that's stupid. There ain't nobody in my chair. Fuck you mean? I got up and I left. I left the chair. I left the chair. So if I got up and left the chair, how stupid would it be for her to have a conversation with y'all about how the chair is empty, or for me to complain about it being empty when I'm the motherfucker that got up and left? Right. All of the talent is here. I'm not shitting on anywhere else, but the talent from singers to writers to producers to actors to dancers to everything you can fucking name is right here in our city. For sure. So to think that we got to move to an area, to a whole nother area to get recognized, let's just say in Atlanta that Atlanta is busy trying to put Atlanteans on. Let's just say in Miami they trying to put Floridians on. Let's just say in California they trying to make sure that they Comptons and they Long Beaches that they get on. So you go into their area, you got to acclimate to their shit. You got to check in with their people. You got to get through the same fucking red tape that's here is there. The same tape, the same. I'm breaking up all of these fucking misconceptions. It's bullshit. The same crab in the barrel shit that you say is in our beloved city is in every fucking city that you'll go to. The same amount of crime, the same amount of everything is there. Wherever you go, it's only gonna be great if you fucking make it great. So me, I don't know about nobody else, but if I go to North Dakota, which I don't know what the fuck, like why would even anybody want to go to? I don't know what's there. Could be thousands of acres of cornfields, but guess what? If Reek go to North Dakota, I'm gonna have a dog ass studio in the cornfield, and all of them goddamn farmers some kind of way gonna have a dope ass album because it's me, because I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And you have to feel that way about you. So when you feel that way about you, it doesn't fucking matter where you go. Are you dope? Ask yourself that. Look at yourself in the mirror.
I bring value to every room I walk in.
Every room you walk in, you bring it. Thank you. And because you feel that way, it literally does not fucking matter where you go. For sure. And that's why I'm here. Mm-hmm. So to get back on what we was talking about, that's why we're using actors from here, because really, my blessings come in many different forms. It don't always have to be monetary, and I'm definitely blessed beyond measure. You know what I'm saying? Dope family, kids, the whole nine. So I want to be, and I am, a portal for the industry, the entertainment industry at large, for people in Detroit. That's what I am. I'm a portal.
One thing I do like about your series, especially, a lot of the movies have the same actors, and no disrespect, they're great actors and all of that, but it's like 7 movies, it's the same 5 people. There's other people in the city that have talent as well. So, I've been seeing, with your projects you got coming out as different faces and things of that nature. So, that's pretty good. 'Cause it's a lot of people, like you said, that are talented in the city.
Exactly.
Than 7 people.
my TV series, Caesar and Ronan, shout out to my partner, Flatline.
Shout out to Flatline.
Shout out to Doc Lady. We actually just formed a new merger. It's a new a film and entertainment company that's coming. We'll be making announcements to it soon. But three absolute titans have united and combined. See, I made up a word. Unite. That was united and combined. Did y'all catch that? But we've united to create something that's going to be really special. And so that project, Caesar and Ronan, I'm the writer and director of that. Concepted originally by Flatline. And the characters that play Caesar, shout out to Papa Drama. He plays Caesar. And shout out to Go So Hard. She plays Ronan.
Shout out to Go So.
And these are, of course, you know them from the music scene. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily know them that much from the acting scene, although they have acted in some stuff. But I love having the opportunity for people like them to be viewed in a different light. It's real important because it's a reason to my approach to this. Mm-hmm. Because in today's music industry and all of the artists that's out there, you need to listen. You can't just do music and get on and be okay. Those days are over with. Mm-hmm. You have to be diverse, even to a record company, partially because they like to 360 the fuck out of people, right? Mm-hmm. So that's, if you are a singer or you're a rapper, if you get that McDonald's deal, if you get that Reebok deal, if you get that movie deal, if you get whatever, they want a piece of everything because they look at it from the standpoint of, I put you in the limelight, and the limelight has garnered you this type of exposure, so we want a piece of that too. Well, if you look at it this way, you have to have something for them even to fucking 360. Right. You can't just be a singer or rapper. So what the fuck else do? You got to be able to do something else to be able to create, So that's how that goes. So shout out to, again, the Pop Drama that goes. So
Pop Drama.
It's literally about 150 people on my season on the cast. I would use the rest of the show shouting them all out. So shout out to all y'all.
Give us some timelines. When is it supposed to
see? So the thing is, we're looking to wrap production of the first is really episode 1 and 2 combined into a movie. So it'll be a film, okay. And hopefully, if all goes well with the schedulings and things of that nature, we can have that wrapped by the summertime. And have it, possibly ready to present in the fall. But you never know what happens. I mean, unfortunately, we've had somebody actually die on the cast. Were unfortunately murdered. We've had that. We've had tragic car accidents. We've had all sorts of things. And whenever you're doing something great, it doesn't come with without hurdles, mm-hmm. without. Certain partnerships, being there and then not being there, and then certain promises happening, and then but it's just a part of it, and you got to take the shitty with the good. So the release date on it is not it's not solid just on you got to stay tuned
for the updates.
Oh, yeah.
And Jackie Wilson.
Yeah, yep. And we Jackie Wilson, we started filming June 17th. That first filming date was amazing. It was super dope. On the Jackie Wilson side, if y'all familiar with Dre Sconey. Dre Sconey is actually playing Jackie Wilson. He playing Jackie Wilson?
He's a fly. He always be
the fly guy. The fly guy.
Blazer on, and sometimes the cat. Oh yeah, that's what's up.
That makes sense.
Good fit. That's what's up. Shout out to him.
Yep. Shout out Dre Sconey. And we got King Bethel. That's playing the younger Jackie Wilson. He's a super dope young up and coming artist. I think he's out of Mosaic. And we as what was announced on Fox 2, Omar Gooding, and
so is this gonna be on what network?
So
Tubi?
I shouldn't say that I'm not gonna say that I don't like Tubi. I'm not gonna say that. Let's just say that none of my stuff is going on Tubi as of right now. Like, we'll probably wind up doing some short films or something, and but these being TV series, we got the inroad with Peacock, of course, okay. The Hulus, because when it comes down to, see, if someone comes out and the only thing that they're saying to you is one particular network, when they're putting a project together, then they're not being forthright with you, because the idea is this: get it in the can, and what you want to do is you want to go and get. I would think that you would want to do this to get the best possible deal.
For sure.
So if I have a show called Electric Elevation and I want to take that to Netflix, and they already have something that's called, Shocking Rising, and it's the same damn near type thing, then we don't want to take Electric Elevation over there. I don't give a fuck if it's Netflix or not, because they will sign you and shelf your ass.
Right.
To make sure you don't come out to compete with the other thing. So with distribution, it depends on, number one, who you have access to, which fortunately we have access to everybody. And then it's about who's going to give us the best deal. And that goes for both series. So I don't.
So it's still in the works.
Yeah, for sure.
Still pending.
Yeah, always.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and lastly, let's talk about you do artist development.
Mm-hmm.
How can artists reach you as far as artist development?
Okay, yep. So primarily, I deal on Instagram with that, and depending on how the talks and everything go, I get the information, and especially where you can come at my studios in Oak Park. But
so how deep do you go? Do you
I go
etiquette, everything?
I literally can touch absolutely every aspect of it. It's predicated on the needs of that particular artist.
And how are the sessions per hour?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's
a couple times a week.
Yep. It can be 6 times a week if they can afford it.
Okay.
Because see the reason why I don't do a boilerplate system is because if you come in as an artist and you're a singer who can just sing to the rafters, can sing an angel out the sky, but you are a tree, you're an absolute log, like you have no stage presence, you can't move, and you're an inanimate object, then I have to approach you different than somebody who comes in and who dance their ass off but could barely hold a tune. Or somebody who come in and they can rap and but they look like shit. So you need a different set of attention. It's about your image. If we can get your image, so I wind up being image consultant / vocal coach / either showing rappers how to, because I do sing and spit, showing rappers how to count their bars. Some of them, they come in and they just push record, and they'll do a 17.5 bar verse, and you're like, what the fuck is that? Like, where's the hook? I don't know where your hook is. I don't know where your verse is. And then so it wind up being teachable moments. So it's artist development from the standpoint of turning them into recording artists, teaching them how to sing, teaching them how to rap, teaching them how to create hooks. It's everything across the board.
So do you help with the business aspect, making sure they have their ASCAP, their BMI, making sure their business is in order as well?
So that's a separate set of things.
And I do that too, y'all.
I definitely can do that. I have my hands in absolutely so much stuff. So that if they were to ask something like that, I'd be like, yeah, hit Electric Elevation up.
Far as making sure people,
but I have done it though.
That's one thing, like, new artists need to make sure that they have is the business aspect of it. Make sure stuff is in order. You got people doing YouTube beats, just putting shit out here. You gotta have your writer numbers. You gotta be either with ASCAP or BMI.
And I've sat
check
there.
Your name you're using. Is somebody else using that name? Is the name available? So a lot of people just be out here just doing anything.
I've sat there and walked an artist through all of that, every aspect of it, from the ASCAP registration to DistroKid to United to whoever. So yeah. So
I know that's a great, fulfilling feeling to see the beginning of someone when they first come to you, and then after the sessions, the growth.
Yeah, I love it. That's one of my favorite parts to it, and just even the song creation process, just starting with just an empty session, and then putting the music together and seeing how it all comes together. Then you putting the lyrics, and then whether it's singing or rapping. I mean, just. You got to be a goal-oriented person to be successful in life, period. Even if it's not entertainment, if you cut lawns, if you think that you can just go out there and cut grass and be okay, then you got life fucked up, because where's your LLC? Where you going to store your equipment? What's your overhead? Blah, blah, blah. It's a whole bunch of steps to everything. So it's really about you being goal-oriented and say, okay, cool, I want to be... in this case with entertainment, I want to be a dope artist. I don't want to just be the dope artist. I want to make sure I get paid. Or am I even going to get paid at all? How do I get paid? But it's up to you to ask those questions, because you may not have access to a Lyric or to Electric Elevation unless you do some research to find out, wait a minute, there's a lot of shit that I don't know. But too many artists think they know every fucking thing. So They wind up
Yeah.
blowing money on YouTube beats and can't do shit with them.
Can't do shit with them. And then, like I said, with people with the names, they don't even do research on the name they're using. Like I had somebody come to me and with a rap name, and it's somebody in Florida with that rap name, and like 2 other states with that rap name. Then we go see the rap name. It's not even available. So you have to, like for instance, before I started Electric Elevation, I got a trademark before I even started when I came up with my name and I came up with my mission statement. What I wanted to do and everything, I got a trademark first. And I had some people say, you getting a trademark? You haven't even started your bid. You don't even know how it's going to do. I said, well, one thing's for sure. I know that I want nobody to steal the shit. If it do good, which I know it will do because I'm going to prophesize that, I'm going to have all my stuff in order before I even start. Mm-hmm. So you can't just start off doing something because it might take off like that. Then you ain't going to get no money from it if your paperwork not in order. And it's just so many people that don't want to take the time, or they think it costs a whole lot of money when it really doesn't. You could budget for it and plan for it.
Yeah, I was about to say, let me attack that though.
Sure.
Because so the reason why I want to attack that portion right there is, if you're doing this and you're worrying about how much it's going to cost you, I guarantee you your priorities are completely fucked up because sure. You're walking in with Alexander McQueen's on, and with Balenciaga's on, and with V Long's on, and $10,000 in jewelry, but you want to bitch about how much studio time gonna cost you, how much the mix is, and how much the trademark is, and how much is it to market and promo, because you want to play music industry instead of being in the actual music business.
For sure.
So, don't try to get in this shit if you're gonna be cheap, because it's not cheap.
And it costs you in the long run.
I'm not cheap. I'm not cheap.
And then what if you come up with a dope concept, a dope idea, and because you ain't have your paperwork in order, you don't get paid nothing from it, another company steal the whole shit.
They'll steal your whole shit.
Like, that's fucked up, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Something you created, something you came up with, and you're not getting a fucking dime off of it because you was too lazy or too cheap to get your paperwork in order.
Yep.
Yep. So, let's talk about us as a community sharing information and being better at it. So, it's a lot of times there's some people out here that are successful or are good at certain things, but they don't really want to pass it down or help other people.
Yeah, that's a real unfortunate thing, because I don't think that our community understands the power that we actually have. Mm-hmm. Like I said, from people who sing, from people who rap, from people who manage, from people who do production, from people that do all these other intangibles. If everybody actually banded together, you wouldn't need anything out of LA. You wouldn't need anything out of Atlanta. They would be coming to you because every aspect and every component you have already. And if you have the information and don't pass it forward, what I'm trying to tell you is, you get up to that spot and you're able to stand on the top of the hill and say fuck you to everybody that you think is beneath you and say, get like me. Like, it seems like that, but we got to understand where that root comes from. That comes from oppression. Mm-hmm. That comes from poverty. That comes from not having shit growing up and saying, one day when I get my shit, I'm going to be this way. That comes from, you aspiring after that girl or that guy, that guy, he ain't doing nothing but looking at the girls with the stacked bodies, and you built like a twig, or you that guy, and the girl, she after all of the dope boys, and you don't have yours yet, and although you really love her, she really don't want to fuck with you because you broke. This comes from all of that bullshit. That once you actually get it, you like, fuck everybody, fuck you, get like me. Now you're in the mode of, you always want to damn stun on somebody. And so when you have that, number one, you create enemies. You burn bridges that you think that you're never gonna have to cross again. You do all of this shit only to find out that it doesn't matter how much money you have, if you are not a likable person, if you're not somebody who can articulate, if you're not somebody who is willing to open up doors for others, not only will it be lonely, but if you slip or fall, which it has happened, I won't say names, I've been attached to situations. Mm-hmm. If you slip and fall behind that door and you have isolated 20 to 25 people, that fucking love you and that would snatch an angel out the sky for your ass, and you get fucked up behind that door, and us on the outside don't know, you're cooked, motherfucker. Whatever happens in there with you. So this is why I say I want to be a portal, because I'm not gonna look at some information that I know, and say I don't want to share it with you because you might get on. Dummy, y'all done heard this before. Y'all done heard Rick Ross say. You done heard a bunch of people. Bosses create bosses.
For sure.
So if I'm in the door, it only makes sense, especially like this woman I'm sitting next to. We didn't just cross paths 25,000 different times at different events. Never necessarily sat there and collaborated on anything, but we constantly in different rooms. So one thing I know about her, without knowing a lot about her, is that she'll move her and shake her. She gets shit done. She boom, 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 boom. So guess what? If I'm in a room and I can hold that bitch up and be like, hey, I know how you get down. Floss, I know how you get down. Hell of a, you boom. Yep. Shit. Said you come bring the whole roster. Yep. You who do that. Yep. Movie side. Yep. Darren. Yep. Get your ass in here. DeJuan Ford. Yep. Get your ass in here. Yep. Diesel. Yep. Get your ass in here. Lee Master. Get your ass in here. Nisha. Get your ass in here. LaBrittany. Get your ass in here. What the fuck does it hurt me if I'm in a position to create scenarios that people that I at least is from my city and from my environment, that I can get them in there? Guess what? If I slip and fall, if I done ran up, like Peasy said, which I worked with Peasy. That was me singing on Peasy and Payroll's 2 of their hooks on the Ghetto Rich Niggas. What's this? Ain't No Falling Off. I done put 2 million up. That's a catchy song, and I actually like that shit. Mm-hmm. In real life, though, life happens, and if you fall off in the room and you're the only one in the room, there's nobody to pick you up. Now, I'm going to just give you a small example. I'm going to shut up because I'm probably talking too much, but goddamn it, it's my interview. I'm just playing. Thing is this. If I done ran up 2 million, but all the people I named, I don't even remember all that. That was about 15, 20 some names I just named, right? I done all got y'all in the door somehow, and all y'all done made $250,000, 500 apiece. If I'm the one that got y'all in there and I'm fucked up, I could go to 3-4 of them at least and be like, I'm fucked up. Hey, let me hold 80 grand real quick until I get this project going, and I'm gonna be back on my feet. Them niggas ain't gonna give a fuck. They done made 500,000 off me. Here's 80. Here's 80. Here's 80. So if 20 people give me 80,000, do the math. Do the fucking math. Stop being so goddamn selfish. Stop being so goddamn greedy. Stop thinking that you got to be the man. There's no number one. I want you to know that. There's no number one. There's no number one. Even if you want to call it a number one seller in the world, you can call it number one all you want to. Guess what? The ones that are out there and on certain levels, they've achieved it. Bravo to them. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep thriving. Put me in a room with Drake. You're going to see Rick going to hold his own, and Drake's eyebrows going to raise a little bit. You want to know how I know? It's because one of the motherfuckers that learned how to write for me went around him, and he was impressed. Like, oh, my God. He got that shit from me. God damn it. So that means a representation of me than already been around the number one motherfucker in the world, and he had to give him his props. So my props is indirectly, and I'm not saying that to Big Neil. What I'm saying is all of y'all are dope at what y'all do individually in some type of capacity. So
for sure,
it can't be a number one. It can't be a number one. She got a radio show. I got a radio show. Why the fuck does mine have to be better than hers, or vice versa? It's stupid. It's literally, when you really break it down to its simplest thing, it's dumb. There's no fucking number one. Be the best you can be. I'm gonna be the best me I can be. And if I catch 20 of y'all being the best yous, and it's a situation that benefits y'all, I'm gonna throw y'all ass in there. Not even to get something back, because it ain't about a kickback. But why wouldn't you want to see somebody else thrive?
For sure.
Why are you so fucking weird? I don't
to me, it's like it's fulfilling to actually help others.
It is.
It's fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, that's why I've always been a kind of person who's kind of unorthodox. I'm not gonna.
Orthodox is bad. Let's just put that out there.
No.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
fuck
sure.
Orthodox.
For sure, because I'm not gonna beg to get a seat at your motherfucking table, because I'm gonna build my own. And I'm going to put my own team at that table, and we're going to eat. And I'm going to do shit my own way. I'm not kissing nobody's ass. I'm not dick riding nobody. None of that. It's going to be my way. And it's going to be the right way, because I'm a person of ethics and moral. and business etiquette. So,
and you know what's amazing about that? What's amazing about that is when that is your mantra and you go full force with that, no matter how long it takes, you'll get there. The part that you out there listeners have to attach to that is always be a learner. Never go into situations feeling like you got your mind made up on how shit's supposed to go, and that's the only way it can go, because if you close-minded, you're not going to get far in this industry. I'm going to use me as an example. I was a singer. In the first group that I was ever in, we all could sing. Guess what? We needed lyrics. I became a songwriter. Boom. At one point in time, I thought I was going to be just a songwriter and be just one of the best songwriters in the world until I die in the end. Never knew I was going to be a producer. Didn't give a damn about being a producer. Wound up becoming a producer. Didn't know I was going to have to be an engineer. Wound up being an engineer. Didn't know that I was going to wind up being an actor, although I loved watching movies my whole life. 2016, boom, started acting. Didn't know that was going to turn into me being such a natural developer of talent that it switched over to where I became an acting coach, started fucking teaching acting. Didn't know that was going to happen. Sure as fuck didn't know that I was going to wind up directing nothing. Mm-hmm. But all the way from me being 2-year-old in some Spider-Man pajamas playing on a little plinky wooden piano, all the way to being on Fox 2 News doing the Jackie Wilson story. I had to be open-minded. I had to be fluid-minded enough to be able to assimilate to different phases of life. Yes, I'm still one of the best songwriters in the world. Yes, I can produce stuff. But guess what? Now I'm going after the Spike Lees and the Tylers and all of them. I'm going to be one of the best directors in the fucking world and one of the best actors in the world and so forth and so on. But and this was crazy. I was telling somebody this the other day, because I've been in the industry like 25 years now. Somebody actually pulled my coattail and pat me on the shoulder for the fact that you just didn't quit. Because so many people that started out with you are not doing this no more. They in the plants. Hell yeah. They in the plants. They, you know what I'm saying, pregnant with 72 kids. They, whatever. They done just gave all of that shit up. And then they're looking, they're like, God damn, this nigga didn't stop. Well, I did not stop to shit on somebody. I did not stop because I don't got to stop in me. I'm going to achieve and go for it and constantly thrive. I'm constantly learning. I got around executives who have achieved certain things and shut the fuck up. I'm turned into SpongeBob. You got to get in and absorb shit. One of the very first biggest movie set that I had ever been on was as an extra on Batman vs. Superman.
Okay.
They called me to be an extra. I sat on that set for 16 fucking hours and they didn't use me. And it was muggy in there. It was miserable. They called me back the next day. I sat there for 11 hours. I thought it was going to be the same thing. And in that 11th hour, they used me. I got to be on set. I got to see the cameras. I got to see action. I got to see the assistant directors. I got to see what everybody was doing. Mm-hmm. I got to see Superman. I got to see Lois Lane. All the different shit. The Gotham City cars. I got to see the whole set. And then the movie comes out. They cut my goddamn scene out. You won't even see me in that bitch. So now that could easily discourage somebody and be like, man, fuck this movie shit. Then I would have been on Fox 2. I used everything possible as an opportunity to learn. And okay, I was a part of this. What was I supposed to get out of this situation? Mm-hmm. What was I supposed to get out of this interview? What was I supposed to get out of this relationship? What was I supposed to get out of? I was signed to Interscope. I was in a 3-man singing group. 2006, we got we were signed to Mike Concepcion, Grand Jury Records. He had a deal with Interscope. Steph Johnson, that was the head of Urban over there. He signed us to Interscope. And I'm thinking, boom, we on. And I learned a lot of fuck shit happened. We were in the deal. We got out the deal. Nothing happened. Then I go and I work with Whitney Houston, and I'm like, God damn, like this got to be the end of. I'm working with Ray J right here and Brandy right there, and Whitney right there, and Tweet right there, and Timbaland right there, and Missy right there, and I'm like, yes. And then somehow I wound up getting ousted out of that situation, not because anything that I did, but because of people that I was working with that didn't necessarily manage the situation in the way that I was included. But there was also no paperwork that made it to where they had to. So I learned the importance of paperwork and doing business the right way, because free and shit and word of mouth does not guarantee that you're tied to shit. So I could have used that as an instance to say, fuck this shit. You know, my partner at the time, he got the Grammy for Drunken Love. He done worked with Nicki and Wayne and Drake and all of these other motherfuckers and didn't call me to the table. Not for one song. That could have been a moment that I said, you know what, I'm seeing $20 millions of dollars going in my face, getting spent, and I'm not getting a dime, and I'm in the city. I've had 1,000 reasons to quit.
For sure. Well, good thing that you didn't quit.
You know?
Good thing that you didn't quit.
We froze over here.
We good. It's
Okay.
more than an hour.
Okay, gotcha.
We good. But good thing that you we didn't quit and you kept going. That's what counts. Like I said, it's very a lot of discouraging moments that come up. I really believe in like manifestation and writing things down in like your journal.
Mm-hmm.
And because all the ideas that I ever get, I always write them down. And they come to pass.
Write the vision, make them plain.
For sure.
The other part of that is you can write them down and you can believe in them. And then the series of words and sentences that you say regarding that can completely kill it and make what's on paper non-existent. You have to not only speak positively, but you can't be on this negative shit. Well, I don't know, man. I just ain't never gonna get on, man. I've been doing this 20 plus years, man. This shit just ain't gonna never go. You goddamn right. It's never gonna go because you fucking said it.
Yeah, the power of the tongue. You gotta believe. And faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
You write it down. You gotta do your part as well. For sure. So this has been an excellent interview. You have great energy.
Appreciate it.
Shout your social media tags out so people can follow you.
Yeah, for sure. Hit me up on that gram. IAM_LYRIQ. You know what I'm saying? The Facebook is for real for family, but if you become family, I shoot that shit to you.
Facebook be on some more messy stuff and personal.
Oh yeah.
So are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I actually am. I barely use this shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look at it. I'll tell you the fact. You know what's crazy? With Twitter, when it first started popping and all that shit, I got discouraged with Twitter for the stupidest thing because I didn't know how it went in the what is my Twitter? Okay, yeah, so it's IAM_Lyrique. Oh, so it's that too. Oh,
IAM_Lyrique.
Yeah, the same thing. IAM_LYRIQ. And but my it says 69 right there. So which one am I supposed to give? This one or that one? I don't know. As you can see,
I am Lyrique.
Okay, so yeah, IAM_Lyrique. But we had the misconception that because the stars' names was on there, we could just say hi to them and they was gonna talk back. I remember seeing Diddy and I'm like, oh, I really want to, and then no response. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, well it's you. Yeah, and then that person. I'm like, wait a minute. You mean tell me none of these goddamn celebrities gonna say hi to me because they don't know me? No, I didn't like that shit. So. But then, of course, years later, you find out that it was never designed for that. But,
Right.
So that's my Twitter handle, though. Yeah.
All right. So shout out to Lyrique for coming on. So again, he got great projects on the way.
Oh, speaking of which, every Saturday at 9 p.m., you got to make sure that we ain't even going to that. You got to tune in to Love and Marriage Detroit.
Okay.
I am on there. That's the Oprah Winfrey Network. Shout out to Anthony Thompson and my cousin Toya Thompson for getting me on the show. It's going to be dynamic. It's going to be juicy. It's going to have some mess on there. And I am definitely intertwined with all of the things that I said in there. So it ain't one of them things where you just going to see your profile. No, I got some shit to say. And some of the shit going to be controversial. But if you know anything about Lyrique, I don't give a fuck. Because I'm going to speak you what it is.
For sure. And you got a radio show too, right?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Yep. The show every Saturday from 5 to 7. On 88.1. Oftentimes you'll see us live on the gram. Actually, we've been on a bit hiatus this particular month of June, but not because the show is a wrap or nothing like that. Like I've been super busy, Kay been super busy. You know what I'm saying? Gail been busy, Jugga been. So we should be rocking out this Saturday. But yeah, we'll put it out there if we are for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all look forward and stay tuned to the Jackie Wilson series. Caesar vs. Ronan series.
Caesar and Ronan. Love and Marriage Detroit.
Love and Marriage Detroit. And if you're looking for artist development, hit them up.
Yep, I am _ LYRIQ on the gram. Come fuck with me. It's your boy Lyric right here.
For sure. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been Electric Elevation Podcast. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel on YouTube at Electric Elevation Podcast. I know everybody watches and interacts on Instagram and on Facebook and all that, but go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel.